my fellow Alaskans. Happy 4th of July. It's our Independence Day. We're here down at the Wonderland Park in Wasilla. Our festivities are just getting started and starting to begin. We're unrolling all of the stuff for this picnic for today, getting it out. We've got Dave Ion and the Sterling Silver Band over here that is giving us our great and wonderful music that you're going to be hearing here pretty much throughout the day. I'm hoping to keep this live stream going throughout all day long. I'm going to do what you classify as an extremely rare thing for me to do. I'm actually going to appear on film today. This is going to be the first time ever that you're actually going to see me present myself for who I am and what we are. I'm the host of our event today and the MC for our Independence Day Patriot Picnic. This is their 6th annual picnic here in Alaska. And this is an event that they hold every single year by Mike Widney and Susie Fletcher Widney that come out here every year, and they usually host this in Big Lake. But because we have some mayors out here in our state that think that they are in control of our independence, we have come out and decided to throw our own Independence Day Patriots Picnic party here today. And I've tagged along, and we are having our first annual or first ever Tailgaters party. And if you're in the area, you need something to do, you're looking for something to enjoy to do here today, come on down. Thanks to your donations, a lot of this stuff has been put together. A lot of people have gone through a lot of work and volunteered to put this in and make sure that we all have an eventful day. There's going to be lots of fun, games, excitement out here, things for everybody to do. Now I'm just going to kind of walk right on around here, get back out of the screen. Thank you for joining us. Do not forget to share. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear. Somebody give me a thumbs up in the screen or say you hear me perfectly. I just went out and bought myself a wireless microphone system. Why? Because currently I'm going to be doing a lot of candidate interviews starting next week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I have Jesse Sumner on Monday. I got David Eastman on Tuesday, and I got Kevin McCabe on Wednesday that are going to be sitting down with one-on-one conversations with me, lasting up for an hour or more. And I really do hope to see you all down here today. Again, we're at Wonderland Park. You can see the beautiful scenery out in front of me. Oh, thank you for letting me know that my sound is working good. This new microphone system is it's really nice. It's really freed me up, and it's got some great quality sound. I'm gonna go ahead and pan right on down around here and take a look. We've got several people that have already showed up. Most of these are the event hosts and coordinators. We got a lot of people that have already said that they're on their way. We've been getting text messages for the last hour now, people going nuts. We're sorry we're late. We didn't know. We're so sorry. We're behind. We woke up late. Those kind of things. Some people just have other people that they're picking up. A lot of people are coming out from Anchorage, Eagle River, Palmer, Wasilla. We're hoping this event is going to be a blockbuster. We're expecting anywhere between 10 people, and who knows? We just really don't know what to expect at this event. We've been advertising all over the place for it and letting people know. And it is just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous day out here today. We have this whole area to ourselves. We do have lots of fun kid games here. We also got the playground over next door if you have some really, really young ones that you'd be liking to bring and need something to do to keep them busy for a few hours. We know a lot of people's picnics and stuff like to begin a little bit later than what ours is. So it makes it work out great for your 4th of July events. If you have other things planned for later on today, you can come join us here now for this one. Again, we're just getting set up. We've got a few things out there. As you can see, we've got Save the PFD here, and they're definitely going to be a wonderful thing. I'm going to try to keep live streaming all day long and non-interrupted. Who knows how that's going to work out. I may just stop this here just for a little while because I need to go and help set people up and get things going here for this thing. But we've got the entire green pavilion here, and you can see off in the distance there, and I'm going to zoom on up some of the vehicles that are already parked in back. That's directly behind Valley Village on the Parks Highway. So if you're looking for some easy parking, this is the area to go. They, for some reason, the Parks and Recs area decided to kick us all the way into the back area of the lot. And they said the other ones were all rented out for today, and this was the only one that was available. But you know, I think we scored, absolutely scored. So again, we got Dave, Ion, and the Sterling Band here, Sterling Silver Band. They are providing us our music and entertainment for today, and also giving us a place to be able to use so that we could have a few speakers show up later on this afternoon. We have different candidates from around the state that should be showing up today that are looking to want to speak up and say a few words to everybody. So again, everybody, I hope to see you on down here. Come on down. Again, we're at Wonderland Park, directly behind the Value Village off of the Parks Highway. I've provided a link onto this particular live feed at the moment that you can click it and watch a video that I made. All the information you really need to get here is right up in front. And then if you're not sure where we are in the park, just watch the rest of the video. I am going to go ahead and let this one stop for now, and thank you all for coming in so early. I know this is one of those days that you're spending with your family, your friends, celebrating your independence that we have gained by being Americans. 244 years. That is just impressive, absolutely impressive. 244 years that we have been celebrating our independence from the colonies of England, and saying, giving them what I always like to classify as the middle finger. Anyways, I will see you guys a little bit later.
My kids are in the playground up there right now. We should get started. So
I'm already.
Are we gonna have a prayer? Or
I'm live right now, and I'm going to start making some announcements, and hopefully we'll get a couple of people here to join in on this live feed for today. There we are, number 1, 2, 3. We are beginning this. I'm about ready to make a few announcements for everybody. Don't forget to share. Facebook squeals on your share. And I'm just going to slide right on up front. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm glad you're here to join us here today. We are live at the Patriotic Picnic for today, and
Do not turn it off on the tail. Don't turn it off. It's free.
all right. Do I got sound? Yes. Hello, my fellow Alaskans. I am Bert. I am your MC and host today. I am so glad everybody is able to come out and join us on this Independence Day for Alaska. And
Just keep talking.
just keep talking, okay. Anyways, we're here today to celebrate our 244th year of independence in the United States. And I am so proud to be your host today. This party has been brought to you by Mike Widney over there. This is his 6th annual Patriot picnic that he has. This also happens to be Mike and Susie's anniversary. So don't forget to thank them for being here. This is, again, their 6th annual. They normally hold this out in Big Lake, Alaska. And this would be where you would be joining them on this day while this park is filled with tons and tons of people that would normally be celebrating what the city would be putting on for us. But in the infinite wisdom of our mayors, both in Anchorage and the Valley, and I will mark that the mayor in Anchorage refused to give us a permit for any event inside of their area. So, but Wasilla, they were nice enough to give us one, and so here we are today at Wonderland Park in Alaska, celebrating our independence together. We would like to announce that the food is starting to get ready, so don't hesitate to go on over to get yourself served up. Different ingredients and condiments can be found throughout the place, and just look around. Coolers are full of soda, different kinds of drinks, bottles of water. It's a very hot day. Keep yourself hydrated out here. I'd like to start this out with the Pledge of Allegiance. So if I could ask everybody to please stand. And we got several different places. You can see the flag off to my little small one off to my left here, or just behind you, and we'll go ahead and get started here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Woo! I would like to say they give a big warm welcome. I see him. He's hiding right over here. Dave Ion and the Sterling Silver Band for donating all of their time today, bringing us the wonderful music that we have. And Dan, I'm sorry, Dan. Forgive me there. Forgive me. and I'd like to point out here down on the ground, right in front of his setup that he has going on here, is a donation can. Everybody's time is valuable. We're all donating our time for this event. This big gigantic picnic for all of us that want to celebrate together. Today we have many different candidates that have decided to join us here today. I am not going to list them all off because I don't want to offend anybody by missing them. But later on today they will have the opportunity to stand up here and give a few words on this very fun-filled 4th of July day. We will be having games for the kids here real soon, and as soon as we start to get a little bit more food dished out there, we're going to have someone come up and give the opening prayer for today. So again, enjoy yourself today and have lots of fun, and I will be back up here in just a little while. And again, don't forget to donate a little bit of money to Dave Ion and the Sterling Silver Band here for their time and donation of bringing the sound system and the wonderful music that we're all enjoying here this afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We are appreciating this. I will start up the live feed here in just a little while. Again, keep tuned. We're going to keep on live streaming all day long, periodically. Have a great 4th of July. See you later. I will leave everybody with a little bit of live music before we go.
Looking for another founding father of the United States of America. Someone? Which one? Who? John Jay. Yeah, we already said that, but that was. Yeah, you're right. There we go. Can someone name me another founding father of the United States of America? Ben Franklin, absolutely. There you go, a bag of flags. Can someone else name me a founding father of the United States of America? I can't hear you. Go ahead, I can't hear you. John Adams has already said earlier. Oh, what was his son's name? Did he have a middle name? John Quincy Adams? Yeah, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. There you go. All right, now let's see what we got now. Okay. How about one more founding father in the United States of America? Who? Johnny F. Johnny F. I don't know Johnny F. Anybody know Johnny F? How about you? Huh?
Hancock.
John Hancock is right. All right. There we go. There we go. Thank you so much. All right, for the rest of you, anybody else want to participate? Okay, here's what we got. For all of you who participated, whether you got a prize or not, you're going to get a prize anyway today. Okay. Like a white one, or a red one, or a blue one. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained, and when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the repository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness, his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. He has kept among us, in times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states, for cutting off our with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without their consent, for depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections among us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislature to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by their ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation, and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right, ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Thank you.
Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. Everything that I got.
Thank you, everybody that's just joined us. I'm so happy to have you here today. We are at the Patriot Day picnic here in Wasilla, Alaska, and we just heard the Declaration of Independence read to us all there. We've got one last set of some live music going on here for a little bit, and then we're going to have some candidates that are running for office would like to get up and talk to us here today and celebrate a little bit of the 4th of July with us. So I thank everybody for joining us here at the moment. Enjoy the music, and we'll be back with you here in just a little bit.
Lost my wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way. Well, I'll be looking for aid when they pull that gate, and I hope that judge ain't blind. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's on my mind. Just what I got on. I ain't got a dime, but what I got is mine. I ain't rich, but Lord, I'm free. Amarillo by morning, now Amarillo's where I'll be. Amarillo by morning, now Amarillo's where I'll be.
All right, my fellow Alaskans, we are back again. We are going to listen to some of the candidates here. Give us a little meet and greet. Tell us why the Independence Day is their celebration to them. Good evening once again. I would like to thank everybody for being out here to join us on this Independence Day 4th of July event. And we are celebrating 244 years of independence in the state of Alaska. I would like to welcome several of our candidates that have requested to Actually, I've requested them, and I've gone around and harassed every single one of them to come and talk to us today and about what Independence Day means to them. After just listening to the Independence Day speech that was given from the Declaration of Independence here just a few minutes ago, hopefully that helps give some inspiration on the speakers today of what they'd like to say to all of us. The first person, Thurman, are you out there, Lloyd?
He had to step out for a second.
Oh, he'll be back. He'll be back. All right, we'll just keep on moving along. Kevin McCabe, step on forward here. Everybody give him a big round of applause. Come on.
Somehow I knew I was going to be first. So, does everybody agree with me that Juneau is broken?
Yes, sir.
So independence to me means a lot of things. I'm a retired military vet, so independence to me and the country and the flag and the Constitution are things that I hold dear. But more than that, I think the state government is best when it's done closest to the people. The state government is a problem. Sorry. All right. I hate having this thing in my face. State government is a problem to us, and city as well. If you look at the independence that they're losing in Anchorage right now, we couldn't even get a permit to do what we're doing here if we had been in Anchorage. So independence is important. It should be important to all of us. Freedom, that's what our country's all about. People are still fighting, even with the troubles we have, people are fighting to get into our country. Immigrants are fighting to come to our country. We should never take this for granted. We should fight for it. We must fight for it. Liberty, unless it's maintained, goes away very fast, and we're watching that right now, whether it be the mask mandates or the contract tracing mandates and what's next. So I'm a conservative Republican. It bothers me to have to put conservative in front of Republican because Republican always used to just mean conservative. I believe that Juneau's broken, that I can be of some help to fix it, and I'm running for House District 8, which is Big Lake, Meadow Lakes, part of Connect Fairview all the way out to Port Mackenzie. So I'll be around for a little while. If any of you have any questions or ideas or thoughts and you want to talk to me, look me up. Thanks.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. And yep, let me unclip you here real quick and still that. Oop. All right, we have our next guest here, and we're just going to keep going right on down the list. We got Gavin Christensen. You want to step on forward?
Long steps. How do we do this?
All right, let me give you just a second here. I'll clip you up. We'll make sure that our Facebook crowd that's going to be watching this has the opportunity to be able to hear you loud and clear.
Oh, I don't need a mic for that, trust me.
And you're off, you're on.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gavin Christensen. I'm currently running as a Libertarian. I know boo from a few of you, and that's okay. I'm running in Senate District F, which is Palmer and Chugiak. Please don't ask me the actual district lines. We have a map. No one can actually tell me. It's kind of confusing. We just heard a little bit about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You will notice I'm wearing a yellow star today. That was intentional. It all started with the yellow star. It all started when they started making concealed carry permits. It all started when they banned suppressors. It started when they banned fully automatics. It started when they started banning all these things. And the most recent one is when they started mandating masks. It wasn't appropriate. It wasn't necessary. It's come out and been proven to that fact. But for some reason, people made rash decisions right off the bat. And I hear a lot of the decisions of, well, it affects other people. Well, then we talk about abortion. And abortion affects other people, but they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear the facts. They want to intrude on our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. We don't want to intrude on others. What I want is the freedom for you guys, because that freedom then allows me to have freedom, and my children and my children's children, which is the reason I'm running. The PFD is getting stolen from us, and everybody that's going to come up here today is going to talk about us, and everybody has a plan on how we can restore it. My plan is to prevent it from ever being stolen again. We have initiatives coming up that have different ways to pay for our deficit, but the fact of the matter is we have a spending problem, not a budget problem. We need less revenue, less spending. Thank you. Oh, I gotta.
Hands up.
Don't shoot. Thanks for the one person that got that joke.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Christopher. Gavin, we really do appreciate that. Our next speaker today will be Christopher Kirka. Are you hiding out there someplace? There he is. And he has a few words for us here today. And give me just a second, and then we'll hook you right up. And we'll hand you that. And just slide that right onto there like that, and you are set.
Thank you. So those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Kirka. I'm a third-generation Alaskan. Love to live in this state. Very, very blessed. I have a beautiful wife and 4 boys. Actually, my wife is organizing the Freedom Festival in Palmer right now. That all started because our business and some other businesses got together, really upset that the city of Wasilla canceled our Independence Day festivities here. And so we looked for a place to do something else, and Mayor Palmer was very welcoming, so we went there. But it's not my district. This is my district, so I'm here. So I'm running for State House here in Wasilla in District 7. It's an open seat. Currently I'm being challenged in that pursuit by former Representative Lynn Gaddis. Yes, she's the one that voted for the SB 91, the jailbreak, and all the big budgets. But the previous speaker, absolutely correct. We have a spending problem in Juneau. We spend more per capita than any other state. We spend twice the national average of state spending per capita. We spend 25% more than the next closest state. So the second most highest spender in the country, who spends more per capita than anywhere else except for us, spends 25% less than us. We spend 25% more than them. Actually, it's 25% more, not 25% less, excuse me. So we have a huge spending problem, and nobody wants to talk about the fact that we doubled the budget in the last 15 years. We had so much a glut of oil money, we had no idea what we were doing. We just started spending. And my opponent was part of that spending. I am pro-PFD. Taking the PFD is an egregious tax. I'm totally against new or increased taxes, specifically increased taxes. And I'm 100% pro-life. I have a clipboard over here with a sign-up sheet if you'd like to sign up, especially if you live in Wasilla. But even if you don't live in Wasilla, your dollars can count. They really help get the message out to the voters. And you can help as a volunteer. We have a volunteer opportunities coming up as early as tomorrow. Would love your help. Would love to take the fight to Juneau. And one of the bills I've promised to introduce would be to, I've told to put it this way, move the capital back to Alaska. So would love your support, and I'm around for a little while if you have any questions or have any issues.
Hey, keep these guys talking. I keep making money while they're talking.
Hey, this is working out great for everybody there. All right, we got Lloyd Thurman. Lloyd Thurman, step on forward here. Thank you, everybody out there that is joining us. We really do appreciate this here today. This is an event to remember. And here you go, Lloyd. I will hand you that. And
all right.
We'll get you clipped up here.
It's always good to be clipped. All right.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Well, this is a great day to be able to hear on the 4th of July, right? No day like the 4th. All right. Being a former Marine, that we fought for this thing and we've won it. We fought from the Brits, we fought from everybody else, and now we're fighting from the socialists. So this is where we are, folks. It's a battle down to our death if we don't win. So we've got to be concerned, we've got to be on top of it, and we've got to be ready to go and understand this is not just kind of a little casual election that we're involved in. This is for the survival of freedom. It's the survival of America. This is critical, folks. You've got to really understand the battle that is really going on. So, being a former Marine, I flew for them.
Vietnam and everything else during that span of time. Fortunately, I didn't have to go across, so I'll make that clear to everybody that I know. But I was ready to go across, and Nixon said, nope, 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 everybody come back. And I said, thank you very much. I appreciate it, but I do appreciate those people who died for our country. You know, freedom isn't free. It costs. You know, so I just want you to know that we need to respect that. We need to be honoring of that fact, and that's what today is all about. I trained in the Navy Training Command. I taught in advanced jets in that, and you know, in all different kinds of phases and flights and everything else. That was something that I did. I'm basically, as we go down through the things that I stand for, you know, I'm the one true conservative in this race, in the Senate race. I really am. I mean, you can't get more conservative than me. If you're sick and tired of the money that they've been squandering of your money, then you need to vote for me. And my name is Loy Thurman, and it is going to be on the ballot, which I had to fight them down in Juneau. It's also going to have my nickname, of which most people call me by, which is Santa. So it's going to be on there, quote, we were able to get that on there, but it wasn't easy. So anyhow, concerning the PFD, I've been an activist in Save the PFD with Mike Widney for some time. You know, a great cause, and if you're not supporting that, you need to be. You know, unless you just like giving up $7,000 of your money. You like somebody stealing $3,000 out of your pocket every single year, you know, just go ahead and let them do it. Because if you don't do something, I guarantee you they're going to take it. And it's just like Governor Hammond said a long time ago. He said they have theirs, you know, for the politicians, and they're going to spend that. And then after that, what's going to happen is they're going to come over and they're going to try and take your part of the mineral rights that they sold to the oil companies. Those are your mineral rights. They're your money. It's worth a lot. My dad was an independent oil producer, and that is worth a lot of money. And those are your monies that now the politicians are coming and they're trying to steal your money. So if you're not going to stand up for it, guess what? They're going to take it. And they're almost there right now. So if you don't do something this election, you're toast. It's over. It's over, folks. I mean, this is no more games. It's time to get off your butt and make something happen. And the way that you can make it happen in America is they give us the right to be able to vote. And so you've got to get off of your duffs and get out there and vote. August the 18th is the primaries, and for a lot of us, that's a critical election right there because it's going to determine who's going to win. You know, we think we're okay. Oh, we're Republican, and everything's just fine. No, 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 no. What's been happening? You've been getting robbed, folks. You've been getting robbed. And if you think that things are going to change and you put the same people back in office, guess what? Doing the same thing that you've always done before and thinking that there's going to be different results, that's the definition of insanity, right? And so you got to understand, you got to vote these people out. So I'm pro Second Amendment. Of course I would be, being a Marine and everything else. Republican Party, the binding caucus. Holy smoke. What an incredible thing. It means your vote means nothing. It means your vote means nothing. They're selling it out to other people so that they can get chairmanships who then tell them how that they're going to have to vote even in the chairmanships. Now come on, folks. It means your vote means nothing. So if you can believe in that binding caucus, then basically you're out in left field out there by yourself. There's nothing that's going to happen different, and it's going to be a small select group down there that's going to control the way everything is going to go. The binding caucus has to go. So anyhow, 2 Eagle Scouts that I've got. I'm active in the church in music and also teaching the men's Sunday school class, and I'd appreciate your vote. I'm straight up as conservative as you can be, and I really am a good guy, and you can just call me Santa. So look on the ballot, and you'll see Santa. So vote for Santa on there. I'm running for Senate in Districts 7 and 8, which is also called for the Senate. It's called D as in Delta. That's all.
Mr. Thurman,
Yo.
may I add something from the choir?
Please.
I want to remind you and everyone standing here, those resource benefits, Alaska and Hawaii have an Article 8 in their constitutions, and the resources and the benefit thereof belong to the people and or the state.
Yep.
The people are named first.
Yep.
Remember that, folks.
Yep.
In 59, they said we would get our royalties.
That's right. And now they're trying to steal them from us, and they've almost got it. So if you don't vote for different people this year, you're toast. It's gone. I mean, I'm serious in what I'm saying. You better get after it, and you better vote for these people. There's a lot of good conservatives that are out there that are running in all the different races. So get out and vote, people. August the 18th is the primaries. Thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd. Oh, can't walk away yet.
Oh, I'm walking away with your stuff. Here. We good?
We're good. We're good. Run while you can. All right, we have a couple more speakers here. Just to wrap things up here, we've got Moki too, who had to leave out of the building, and but we got Beth Freed, who is his campaign manager, would like to say a few words on his behalf.
Thank you, Bert. And let's make this easy. This pocket.
That pocket.
And that. Oops. I'll get it. Thanks. Hey, folks. I thank Bert for the opportunity, or Politadick, or whoever you want to call him. That guy's pretty cool. I like him. Anyway, Moki had to go to work. You know the thing in Alaska, have fun and make work when you get the sun shining. So he had to go back to work. But he wanted me to let you know that he appreciates learning and meeting all of you. He hasn't had much opportunity to do that, and so I highly encourage you talking to him. The biggest concern he has is just what we've heard from everybody here. The Matsu Borough overspends just as much as the state. And so he has answers like you can save money on the roads by having competitive bidding, open competitive bidding. The Matsu Borough shut down the competitive bidding this year by saying you had to have done work in the valley for the past 3 years out of the last 5. So that just wiped out a whole bunch of people who could have applied. 40 years experience in roads and you can't submit a bid. The next issue is the fire service areas and the community councils. They are all not attended well. They might have 3, 4, 5 people at most of the meetings for the community councils, the road service areas, and the fire service areas. Moki's idea is combine them. Have them all have the same meeting once a month, and they will have true community involvement because people will be coming. Those are 2 of his major issues, and if you want more about them, his cards have his phone number and his email address and his website, which is moki2.com, and his Gmail is moki2gmail. So it's not hard to find him, it's not hard to talk to him, and I suggest you investigate him because he's covering Big Lake, KGB, Point McKenzie, that's District 8, and we have 4 precincts active out there. Thank you for listening. Take me apart.
Take you apart, I can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have another candidate here running for office. We got Mike Alexander, who is going to come up and say a few inspiring words for us here today. And as always, hang out for just a second. Oops.
There you go.
And we just need some place to clip that onto.
Yeah, I got all kinds of places here.
There you go.
I usually mess up these microphones to get a little too close or I get too far away. I'm running against Moki 2s, and the reason I am is because you need somebody over there that is a conservative, also somebody that will look out for your gun rights. They've tried to basically sneak in with the environmental control over privately run ranges and nonprofit ranges. They tried that last year. We had a rally in January, and 600 of you showed up in the middle of a snowstorm. That was really intriguing. The thing with the road services that is really bad, I come from Kansas like Wally Hickel and Joe Vogler. We had a township board that took care of our roads, but they had money and they had the power to do it. Here, your road services vote on this proposition, send it over to Palmer, and somebody there decides on what you're getting and what you're not getting. That should have more local control, and that's one of the things I like to see them do. The other thing is, if you want to meet liberals and Democrats, definitely get down to the community council meeting. That's where you'll find them. And they pretty well control that, and that's where you get a lot of these wild ideas going over to the assembly, and they're going, gee, it came from the community. So I like the idea actually of if we have some kind of meeting where more people showed up, once you get the bigger crowd in, then you get a more concise idea of where you're at, what you're doing. 2 or 3 people can't throw something from left field out there and have it brought up. It takes a whole group. It's like on, any of you watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And they ask the crowd a question. The crowd gets the question right. The more people you have there, the better off you are. But on our Second Amendment rights, you've got a group in over in District 2 in Palmer, headed up by Hale. They're the ones that are basically trying to take away the gun rights. It's kind of a little hobnob group in there. They're kind of strange, but they're there. They've moved out here, and we're stuck with them. But the other thing is, the guy we're replacing, Dan Mayfield, is definitely anti-gun. He'll be running for Senate, I guess, but he has blocked 2 ranges. We had shotgun ranges for kids. We had 80 acres donated by the state. We'd set them up. It only takes 800 feet for a shotgun range. I live down by one in Missouri. We've got a place down there. It's a mile of trap shooting, but it only takes 800 feet. But the main thing you're getting out of this, you're not going to get an Olympic shooter necessarily, but you are going to get 3 things. That's gun safety, and gun safety for kids. That's your biggest process out of this. And it also, with that thing, you can teach other classes on that range with pistols. We got look-alike pistols now. We can do the full gun range safety thing with just air pistols. And we need more gun ranges here in the valley anyway. We've got 2. One's at Maud Road, and the other one is clear up by Talkeetna. There's nothing to service my area, Big Lake, and on out on KGB Road. If there's one out there, that would be a great thing. And also, we're going to have to tighten our belts because the state does not have any money. It's broke. And we have got to cut down on our budget for the borough, and that's one thing that I am a fiscal conservative. I do believe in that. And you can't keep going as you're going. There are going to be no more government benefits. There might be a little federal money. Right now, from what I understand, our wages are high enough, the borough wages. If we want to build a new road like we've had, like when Vine was pushed through, they pushed through over to Pittman off of with the road. That can be done, but we have to have federal money for that because we do not have from our tax base enough money. And I'm not a fan of more taxes for the roads, but it needs to be done. The other thing is this port out here needs opened up more than it is. The railroad tracks need to come back in my house in Big Lake and start shipping coal from Usabelli to Japan. Japan will take on, they are knocking off nukes. They will be importing 29 million tons of coal a year. The most coal that Usabelli can produce right now is 4.5. Plus you have over here at Jonesboro, we'll get those folks shied up again. We've got coal all over the valley. They can come to that port and be out of here. So that's my whole thing. And plus there's a road supposed to go in across to the Little Sioux right now, but it needs to cross the Little Sioux. Once you do, that area is opened up for development. You can have some responsibility over there. You can bring this stuff online. We can have some new stuff. If we can ever get that damn bridge across here, it would open up. We'd be like Oakland was before the Golden Bridge showed up. It was nothing. It was a quiet farming town. They brought that across there, and this way your kids can stay home. They don't have to move out of state. They can have jobs right here. We can develop our resources like we're supposed to. It's not that hard. And keep it clean. And that's why I really appreciate your vote in November, if you could. Mike Alexander. I'm going to run for District 5 out of Big Lake and the KGB 1, 2, and 3 districts out there, the voting precincts. So I'd really appreciate your vote. I've got cards I'll hand out to you. I'm a little slow on my signs, but I'll get them out to you all. And I have a website. It's alexanderforassembly.com. You hit that, and I've got a donate button there that works really well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, we got one more person to talk today at this point. We were hoping to be able to bring Representative David Eastman up here in front of you, but he seems to be tied up in the 4th of July traffic out there. So we've got the, in my opinion, the better voice in the family to come on up here. Jennifer Eastman is going to say a few words on the behalf of David Eastman here today. And we have our youngest Patriot in the house today joining us.
That's right. Hopefully he'll stay a little quiet because he can get kind of loud. Thank you very much. Well, happy Independence Day, everyone. My name is Jennifer Eastman, and I'm very fortunate to be married to Representative David Eastman, who is running up for re-election this year in the House. And he actually is on his way. The last I talked to him, he was on Lucille, headed this direction. He got held up with a couple other 4th of July events and fighting traffic and some constituent phone calls and everything going on. But I just wanted to, on his behalf, thank everyone for being here. And if you can hold on for a few minutes, he'll be by here shortly. But just on a personal note, I just wanted to share with everyone how proud I was of him and his stance and the way he's been able to represent all of his constituents while being down in Juneau. And I know there's a lot of people that have a different opinion on how he's represented folks and like to try to say some what I believe are very unfair, unkind things about him. But in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, the reason I think folks tend to pick on him so much is because he is one of the very few, if not only possibly, candidates that I can think of that has actually stood up and done everything, and I'm, as far as I can tell, and I keep pretty close tabs, has held true to every one of his campaign commitments to his constituents. And he has not been willing to give up on those or on you. And so if that's the kind of representation you guys like and would like to continue to have, then I would encourage everyone to continue supporting him. So thank you all so very much for your support and ongoing support, and I wish you all a very happy 4th of July. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me unclip you here.
Grab a big bit. Hey, there's David. Maybe if he wants to rush on over here, he can get a chance to have a second round of talking here to all of the folks, say a few words on his own behalf. Come on up here, David. Glad to have you with us. And give me just a second. We got to get you clipped up here.
Is that working? All right, great. Well, thank you. I have a wonderful audience right here. Glad to see you all. Sorry I couldn't be here earlier. There are too many things to do in a district the size of, what did they say, Taiwan or something? Anyways, it's pretty big. I wanted to offer a note of encouragement today. I know in politics we don't often get a chance to talk about the encouraging because there's always way more things that are discouraging to talk about, and bad news travels faster than good news most of the time. But I wanted to say that having watched Alaska politics for a few years, as a voter first and then now as a legislator, there are lots of good things going on. And just the idea that we can be talking about some of the things that actually matter in Juneau right now, things like the binding caucus, that's a good sign. A few years ago, couldn't get that conversation going. Took us a lot of years to fight to be able to talk about the things that really matter, because of course Juneau wants to talk about anything but what really matters. And so it may not always look positive, but to be able to have the conversations, to be able to talk about some of the corruption that goes on in Juneau, you have to fight to be able to just get that far. And so that's what the last 2 years have been. You have to be able to expose what some of the Democrats running as Republicans are doing in our legislature. We've got a few of those. Of course, they want to say that they're not, but then when it comes time to vote on a vote that really matters, that's what tells the difference. There's a lot of votes that don't really matter. They like to point to those. There's a lot of things in Juneau that are for show. My kids were walking around the house earlier talking about how we all do lots of introductions in Juneau, because when they turn on the TV, that's what they see. About 90% of what goes on seems to be introductions, at least that's what they're seeing. Again, things that don't really matter when it comes right down to it. But what are the things that really matter? Well, being able to honestly represent your constituents, in my case, or in your case, being represented by your legislator, that's what really matters. And right now we have a system in Juneau that, Juneau doesn't think that way. It's kind of hard to grasp if you've never been to Juneau, but it kind of works like this. Juneau's been in control of the swamp for so long that they really don't think elections really matter. Kind of like they've been winning elections for so long that, it's kind of like theirs. And if anybody comes and tries to say different, they don't really believe them. And so you actually have to have a public outcry that is significant enough to get Juneau to listen. We had one of those in this last election, and that was when Judge Corey did not come back to be a judge again because of votes from the people of Alaska. That has never happened before, where the judiciary is on the side of keeping a judge and the people say no, and the people vote and the judge is gone. You can be sure that judges in Alaska watch that and now are looking over their shoulder to see if it's going to happen to them in the next election. And that, frankly, in Alaska is a good thing, because the judges should be accountable to the people just like everyone else. They should be accountable to the Constitution. Some of them aren't very good about that. And that's where we step in as legislators, myself, other legislators, and you, the voters, to remind them that, yes, they are accountable to you and they are accountable to the Constitution. But if you go away and get distracted and don't continue that conversation, then Juneau and our judiciary are going to go right back to the way they've been doing things for a very, very, very long time. Unless you and I and others are willing to keep that conversation alive day in and day out in between elections, then they'll assume that we got distracted with football or baseball or soccer or whatever else is going on. As one legislator put it, Alaskans don't really care about the dividend. They're more worried about barbecues and what's for dinner and things like that. That's the way legislators in Juneau actually think, to the point where some of them are willing to say that on record in front of the camera. There are a lot of things they think that I probably wouldn't be encouraging to share with you, but just suffice it to say that Juneau is a very insular place. They're not really used to having to answer to anybody, frankly. And when they do, they get really upset and peeved. So if your legislator is someone that Juneau is upset and peeved about, chances are they're probably doing what you send them to Juneau to do. And if they're not, if they haven't done anything to upset the folks in the swamp, then chances are they probably aren't working very hard to represent you, certainly not as hard as maybe they should be. So I'll leave you with that. I'll be around for a little while if anybody wants to talk, answer questions, that sort of thing. But very great to see you all. Like some of the t-shirts. Great event. Thanks.
Thank you, David. Don't run away yet.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay, we got just a couple more things yet that we're going to be doing some announcements on. Susie Widney is going to come on up here, and she's got a drawing for something that she's got going on. Where's she hiding at? Oh no, ran away. Run. How about you, Mike? Would you like to come up and say a few words today? No? Awesome. And happy anniversary, the two of you. Come on, let's hear it for these two. Anybody that could put up with Mike definitely deserves a big round of applause. Hold on 1 second here, everybody. Nothing like finding out that the camera is no longer in the shot. I'll tell you what, I'm glad some people was whispering in my ears there. All right, who do we have now? Uh-oh, somebody entered my name into this thing. I was not aware of that because I know I didn't fill out anything. Bert, or Politadick, for those of you that don't know who I am. And I will call this rigged myself. I call for a recount. We need to have another name drawn here. That was hidden in the palm. I know it was. Had to have been here. So let's get another name drawn here for someone else that's participating today.
Lynn McCabe.
Lynn.
Ah, there you go, Lynn.
Lynn McCabe. Well, you may not have signed up for it, but you're just as hooked up as the rest of us. You're a winner, don't be a whiner. Come on now.
I didn't sign you up, somebody did. I thought you did. Charlotte.
We've got a limited number of prizes. There are for men, women, and children, and so we're just trying to make sure that we get a name here that matches the last couple that we have sitting over there. So bear with us. This is a lot of name palming going on here. I keep slipping them the names. They keep flipping them back at me, saying this is just not what we're looking for.
That's a woman.
Man, and they say women just don't get involved, and that's all we're pulling out of this box. We are.
Jeff Gillard.
Oh, wait a minute. We got Jeff Dillard. We got Jeff Dillard still here? Oh, no, you're not here. You can't collect the prize. Oh, man.
Pat Martin.
We got Pat Martin. Pat Martin? Pat left too? Man, they're all just slipping right on up here. They're losing out.
Would you come and get this one out of my sleeve?
Jasmine. That's a girl, right? Yeah, it's a girl. We need a man and a boy. Lloyd Thurman. Lloyd Thurman.
Lloyd, you still here? Lloyd Thurman. You won! We have a winner.
Song says, but I'm a winner.
You are a winner. Yes, you are.
Is that for the baby? A boy. A boy. Yep. Ryan Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
He's an adult.
Uh-oh. You are too old, Ryan. I'm sorry. This is for a little boy. And though we would love to have you come up here and collect it, I just don't think we can pull it off on that one there.
Justin.
Hello, Justin.
Okay, we're done now.
That was our final winner there, Justin. Thank you so much. This has been one phenomenal 4th of July Patriots picnic today. I really do appreciate everybody coming out here and spending it with us all. It has been nice to spend it with family and friends and people that I have always wanted to meet. I know a lot of people have always wondered who I am, and be honest with you, anybody in Facebook land or here today is the first time I've publicly announced my first name. I have never been in front of the camera. I've always been the person that is behind the camera, behind the scenes, bringing the news to you unfiltered from the beginning to the end, and I usually try to get myself involved into the middle of whatever is the most juiciest things happening in our state. And those that follow me are well aware of what those things are. There's lots of people that I am here to thank, and I'm going to pull out a list so that way I do not miss anybody. The first one, the most important I think of this entire event, is Dave Ion here and Dan, the Sterling Silver Band. If it wasn't for these two here, we would not be able to bring you any live entertainment. They have been the highlight of this event for the entire day, and I'd like to give them a big round of applause. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. And a friendly reminder, if you weren't here earlier, they do have a donation can up there up in front. They are donating their time for here today, just like everybody that has put on this event for us. And we really do appreciate all the helping hands out there. So I am going to read off the people that I would like to give a big hearty thanks to for putting this all together. We have Mike Widney. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. This is your guys' 6th annual Patriots picnic. And this is also your guys' anniversary, so congratulations on that. You guys are wonderful. And Susie Fledger Whitney, the better half of the party there. Thank you so much for all of your time that you have put together for putting this event together for us here today. We really do appreciate it. We have Bill Topol. Bill Topol has been the person behind the scenes. He has been putting together the lists. He's been making the phone calls. He's been doing the crunching and making sure that I have this beautiful itinerary that we have been going off of today. Without his support and his behind-the-scenes work, I don't think any of this would have been as manageable as it has been. He's made it a piece of cake to be able to operate and have fun with. We've got Mike Alexander. Where are you, Mike? Thank you, Mike. We appreciate your help. You've done a wonderful job. Without your tireless support over the years and your staunch stance on the Save the PFD and other organizations that I have seen you involved with, it has really been appreciated with your time out there. And one last person here, of course, myself, Bert. I don't like to give out my last name just because it causes a lot of trolls out there to come out and haunt you after that. So for all those out there, I am Bert Politadick. I am glad to have been one of your hosts today to help put this together. It has been an extremely adventurous occasion to be able to have this much fun with a lot of patriotic people celebrating our 244th year as the United States of America. And let me see, I want to just one more time say thank you one more to Dave Ion and Dan, to the Sterling Silver Band here for providing us with our wonderful entertainment, and the speaker system and microphone system here that we've been able to use here today. Without you guys, this event probably would never have been possible at all. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody out there in Facebook land. Do not forget to share. Facebook squeals on you if you swear. Don't forget to share, because Facebook squeals on you. Man, I could repeat that 1,000 times. Today has been a wonderful day here at the park in Wonderland Park in Wasilla, Alaska. Wonderful, great speakers that we've had. A lot of fun games and events. Prizes given away for everybody to enjoy. This has been one patriotic picnic not to forget. And just for all of you far left leaning saying that people do not social distance, we have been keeping 6 feet apart pretty much this entire event. People have been staying separated, and we have been making sure that we all walk away from this healthy, wealthy, and wise. Have yourself a great day. Enjoy your 4th of July.
Some of that stuff, the music's so good, I just don't even worry about the words. Get a kick out of playing it. Jump into the water, untie all the cables and rope, step onto the AstroTurf, get yourself a koozie, let's go. Who said anything about skiing? Floating is all I wanna do. You can climb the ladder, just don't rock the boat when I barbecue. On the farm view, making waves and catching waves upon the roof. Jumping out the back, don't act like you don't want to. Party in slow motion when I'm out here in the open. Boom, motorboat. Don't drink it if the mountains aren't blue. Try to keep it steady. Recline on my blanket making waves and catching rays upon the roof. Jumping out the back, don't act like you don't want to. Party in slow motion while I'm out here in the open, motorboat. Wood paneling with the water slide. You can't beat the heat, so let's take a ride on the palm too, making waves and catching rays upon the roof. Jumping out the back, don't act like you don't want to. Party in slow motion while I'm out here in the open, motorboating.
Thank you all for joining us here today. We really do appreciate it. You all have yourself a wonderful 4th of July.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, where is it? Bye.
Right there, Mike. Don't forget to share.